When considering multiple metering options for apartment buildings, specifically for two 8-unit apartment buildings each requiring 9 meters, a choice must be made between a meter trough and a modular unit. Both options present advantages and disadvantages that should be carefully evaluated. Let's begin with the meter trough. Firstly, a meter trough is generally more economical than a modular unit. Its simpler design and construction typically translate to lower upfront costs. Secondly, meter troughs often have a smaller footprint compared to modular units. This can be beneficial when space is limited or at a premium. Thirdly, the installation time for a meter trough may potentially be faster, depending on the complexity of the specific design and the installer's familiarity. However, meter troughs come with their own set of challenges. One limitation is the restricted space available for wiring and troubleshooting. The confined area within the trough can make it difficult to route wires neatly and diagnose issues efficiently. Also, installing and maintaining a meter trough may require multiple trips to the site. This is because the various components may need to be installed and connected in stages. Accessibility can also be a concern. Meter troughs can be less accessible for meter readings and routine maintenance tasks. Now let's consider the modular unit. Firstly, modular units offer more organized and accessible wiring and maintenance. The standardized layout and pre-wired components simplify the installation process and provide clear pathways for troubleshooting. Secondly, modular units provide a central location for all meters and disconnect. This centralization streamlines maintenance, meter reading, and emergency response efforts. Thirdly, modular units typically include factory-installed components. This reduces the amount of on-site assembly time and labor costs. However, modular units are not without their downsides. One disadvantage is the higher cost compared to meter troughs. The more complex design, prefabrication, and additional features contribute to a higher initial investment. Modular units also require more space due to their larger size and integrated components. The footprint of a modular unit may be a limiting factor, especially in older buildings or areas with space constraints. Finally, modular units may have longer lead times for delivery. This can be a significant consideration if the project has a tight schedule or is subject to delays. Besides the advantages and disadvantages of each choice, here are a few key considerations. Firstly, building construction and layout. Analyze the physical space available for the metering system. Consider factors such as wall dimensions, ceiling height, and any obstructions that may affect installation. Secondly, local utility requirements. Different utilities have varying requirements for metering setups. Consult with the local utility company to ensure compliance with their specific guidelines and regulations. Thirdly, accessibility. Make sure that the metering system is easily accessible for readings, maintenance, and emergency response. Consider the location of the meters and disconnects, as well as the ease of access for technicians and utility personnel. Fourth, cost. Factor in the initial cost as well as any ongoing maintenance or repair costs. Evaluate the long-term financial implications of each option. For a project of this size, installing a modular unit would be recommended. The benefits of increased organization, accessibility, and centralized control outweigh the slightly higher cost and potential lead time. Install a main disconnect ahead of the modular unit. Then, install a 9-meter modular unit with individual disconnects for each apartment and a house meter. Finally, install the modular unit in a location that is accessible, protected from the elements, and easily visible for readings. By providing detailed information to the local utility representative and the authority having jurisdiction, you can ensure that the installation meets all requirements and is safe and efficient.